I'm live. Hi, guys. Dana, hope to talk with you soon about this. A lot of areas within the world of metaphysics, parapsychology. Wait, let me start before I read your guys' comments. Hi, guys. Obviously, you know me. I'm Dana Kipple. So we're going to talk today about any questions you have about what's in my book for those who have read it. And we can just talk about plasma and consciousness and whatever questions you have. My unique angle on it is that I kind of equate plasma with mental health, which a lot of people don't do, and with emotions. So let me read your comments quick. Okay. Project Red Production. Dana, hope to talk with you soon about this. A lot of areas within the world of metaphysics, parapsychology, and beyond. Keep up the great work. Addicted to big white thighs. I told you you were mistaken. It's not plasma, it's fungus that's whole consciousness. You have the exact same ideas, but mine. So I will answer that question about it's plasma, not fungus. It actually is both. What makes up the fabric of reality, I mean, you can really call it whatever you want. I choose to call it my dog. I choose to call the fabric of reality plasma because it is the expanded version of scientific plasma, which is an ionized gas. It is a finer gas, more fifth elemental etheric plasma. It does communicate exactly like fungus or bacteria or mycelium. And you can call it whatever you want. And yeah, we're both right in my mind. I've been following you for over a year. Love your new book. Oh, thank you. Yes, the color version. Glider on Bledsoe said so as well. Yes, I love Ryan Stan. Yes, I have the color book today for anyone who wants like a little sneak peek at how the color one looks. So the color book is actually white inside instead of cream like the black and white book. And I'll show you guys a few color images. And then I'll read what you were typing. Sorry if I'm off my game. I've been having a stressful day because I'm a human that has stress. Hold on, I'm trying to find like one. Oh, this is one of my favorite. Oh no. Sorry, I'm looking for one of my favorite images so I could show you guys. There's a really cool image in chapter. Oh, this is one of my favorites of George William Russell painted this, and I think that's what plasma beings sometimes can show up as. Anyone who is curious if your book is worth it should just invest and be amazed. Oh my God, thank you. That is so nice. I hope that they will get it too. And once again, if you think it's fungus, that's fine. Then talk about that on your channel. I don't think I'm wrong, and I don't think you're wrong. I think we're both right. But I think that it is interesting, the image of a human brain that looks like a plasma ball. Exactly. There are so many correlations with plasma and Tauruses, with plasma and the brain, the masculine and feminine. The Taurus shape is almost like it's a plasma Taurus shape that can filter consciousness, and that our consciousness is the vehicle of. It's almost like a plasma Merkaba that can kind of shapeshift when your consciousness kind of chisels it out however it wants. That's how I like to imagine it. I have the book and we'll start it this weekend. Keep posting. Oh, thank you. Sometimes I wonder, I hope people like my content, because on Instagram I have like 160,000 followers, and on YouTube I don't have a lot at all. I'm going to block this person. Hold on. Okay. La, la, la. Sorry, guys. There was a person spamming about fungus, and I don't know how to. I just have to get them off my channel quickly. Okay. Awesome. I wish I had someone helping me with this. I agree wholeheartedly. I bought the book, but haven't read it yet. I mean, I feel like it's one of those books, and this was kind of my mistake, but it's so big. It feels like, oh my God, there's so much to read. But Danica, do you want to see my dog, everyone? Danica. Danica. Okay, well, here, you can see her. She is being a little bit crazy right now. How did you redirect the plasma? Sorry, my dog will stop. Oh, you love the book? Amy, thank you. I would love to know kind of more. Oh my God. Danica, please be quiet. I would love to know more about like what you think of my book. I'm trying to hide this person. Okay, sorry, there's someone being mean. Um, but fungi is interesting, but I don't like when people spam this. So, Amy, I would love to know, yeah, more what you think of the book. Okay, how did you redirect the plasma with the spoon? So, let me just show you the spoons and forks that I bent at the Monroe Institute. Here's just a few of them, which I'll show you guys. I wonder if I could do it on camera if I'm not too nervous. So, this is one. This is one, if you can see it close. Kind of looks like it was melted. Obviously, not like it's not like cracked, like it was like, oh, wait, here, bent or anything. And then this was the coolest one I bent in a crazy position. And these are not like I'm look at my muscles. I'm using my muscles and I cannot bend it. So, um, have you viewed Thunderbolt's info? No, who's Thunderbolt? Oh, you love my book. Thank you. For anyone that likes my book too, you can leave reviews on Amazon because that helps more people see my book, I guess. I feel like my book's just so big it takes people a while to read it. I feel like okay, no, the print is big. I love you for that. Oh, thank you. I had a friend that mentioned the Monroe Institute and remote viewing. Yeah, so Monroe Institute also has a remote viewing program. Here, you know what? This spoon I can already actually bend because it's halfway bent. So that's cheating and we're not going to do that one. God, I wish I had a spoon I could bend for you guys. Okay, well, next time I will try to do that, but I can't guarantee it'll work because you have to get in like your heart energy. They teach you a lot of stuff for spoon bending, but what I call plasma energy, they call heart energy. There are signed copies on my website, danakipple.com. They're limited edition. There's 300 of them, and I think there's like 33 or 34 left. So I'm sure it'll last a few weeks in case you have to wait for a paycheck. Girl, this is amazing to see you on live. Oh, thank you. Not as used to lives. Well, the heart is made of plasma. Yes, blood plasma. And the heart is also a torus pump for plasma. There's something really cool about that. Let me think. Let me go through my book and like as you guys are asking questions, I could just read really cool facts. For anyone who doesn't know what plasma is. Oh, yes. So I'm going to Asheville, North Carolina, October 18th, and I have a book signing. So I will be signing books October 18th at Raven and Crone, the bookstore in Asheville, North Carolina. I think it's at 5 p.m. And then and it's there. If you can get to Asheville, I'm signing the books for free. Obviously, I'm not charging to do that. So yes, let me show you guys something cool in the book. So picture that, and as you guys ask questions, I'll answer them. But picture that. Let me tell you what plasma is first. Yes, plasma is the fourth state of matter. It is an ionized gas in science. But in my book, I talk about metaphysical plasma or the expanded definition of plasma. So plasma is even finer than the fourth state of matter. They just cannot prove it in science yet, but I know they're going to. It is more like an ether plasma or the fifth element. It is something that I believe makes up the fabric of reality. Right now, I think one of the smallest things in science is quark gluon plasma. Not a coincidence that it's also plasma. And plasma came right after the Big Bang, quark gluon plasma. So my theory is that plasma, the expanded definition, is a multidimensional, living, intelligent, sentient field that is always in flux, that is the vehicle for consciousness, information, and intelligence. And I go in my book in detail about what information, intelligence, and consciousness is by my definition. And I'll talk more about it. I found your YouTube like 2 days ago more interesting than just reels on Instagram because sometimes I got like, oh, I want to know more. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I hope more people discover my YouTube. I think it's just harder to go viral on YouTube. And I've only been doing it for, I think, since the beginning of the year, and I stopped for a while. But now I'm going to actually post on YouTube like 2 to 3 times a week because I realized after writing my book that I want to give more in-depth content. And I'm actually also creating classes for people that just want to learn more about this stuff. Tesla probably knew that electricity was really plasma. So Tesla worked with something called radiant matter, and radiant matter is plasma. Like you can actually, in my book, I actually connect the dots between what Sir William Crookes called radiant matter, which was plasma. They just didn't name it that yet. And then in 1928, they named radiant matter plasma. But for some reason, I really think it was suppressed that because plasma had kind of like paranormal and mystical properties. Tesla even talked about it. And I talk about that in my book. And then they came up with the word plasma, but we forgot all about the radiant matter or the ether and the paranormal. And then we were just all supposed to believe, oh, plasma is just an ionized gas. No, it's way more than that. The algorithm on YouTube is fickle. It's fickle, and it also favors fear-based content and my content, and I never will do that for views or money. My content is never fear-based. I'm sorry, I refuse to make a thumbnail that is clickbait to scare people. And I've been tempted to. I'll make a corny thumbnail though, but I will not make a thumbnail to scare humanity just for views. And I will not make videos on fear-based content. I will make videos about fear and how to help fear because I struggle with a lot of those things. But I will never trick you guys that the power is outside of you because it's not. And anyone on YouTube that tells you that the power is outside of you is a charlatan. My whole book is trying to tell you, like, guys, like, you have the power. How does plasma relate to sigh? So a few different ways. So the way I explain plasma as the fabric of reality, there are layers to plasma. It is the fabric of reality everywhere, right? It is the glue between dimensions, between timelines. Third dimensional plasma is like blood plasma, astronomical plasma. And then I call fourth dimensional plasma. That is the realm of the dream world, of where people astral travel, where spirits can go when they pass at first. It is like the bridge. And that layer has a bunch of fear with it because all of us, it's our subconscious. So all of us in survival consciousness, which are most of us who've been through trauma, at whatever kind of trauma, we imprint the plasma in the fourth dimension, which is our subconscious, with all fear. And then we have fifth dimensional plasma, which you could call source. I call emergent energy, God, our higher selves. And that is kind of how I see it in my mind. So with sigh, there's a few things with sigh. Oh, cool. Thank you. I loved being on THC. Yeah, all matter is energy, and plasma is the most basic form of energy. Exactly. So one of my things, and I say this in my newest video, is when there is all the ideas that your higher self has for you that you can kind of pluck from that fifth dimensional space, they have to come through a fourth dimensional space. They have to come through your subconscious. And if you are decoherent, if you are in stress or fear, if you are feeling terrified, if you are in distraction, or if you are, giving into your addictions like I have in the past, you can't really get those higher ideas. So in my book, I kind of talk about how the importance of healing your trauma and also learning how to make space for all of your feelings, which I have to remind myself a lot. And with that, this fourth dimensional space that almost holds these ideas, and I'll get to sigh in a second because that has to do with sigh. Then you can catch it, and it can almost like merge with your bubble and create a third bubble. And that is how you create, beautiful things from the realm of ideas. So as far as got your color copy. Oh, well, worth the money. Thank you. I love the color copy. I wish I would make it cheaper. I just have to make some money off this because I took a year to write it and made no money. So I only actually make $10 a book, which is crazy. Amazon makes 60%, and then it costs $55 to print the color book. And it costs like $13, I think, to print the black and white copy. Sorry about sigh. So back to sigh. So that's one explanation for your plasma and getting your downloads or ideas. So, if you're trying to think of a business idea, you actually want to get in a state of play and you want to work on healing and feeling because that's how they come through. And also remember, just your $1 million idea might not make you $1 million right away, but it's about trusting the vision you were given from that higher place. Like I was about plasma. As far as telepathy goes, if plasma is the vehicle for consciousness, then plasma is how telepathy works. And they actually tested telepathy with a Faraday cage, which electromagnetic waves cannot get through. And telepathy still got through it, which means that plasma, or the fabric of reality, carries the consciousness through it. Plasma as an ether plasma, as the expanded version of plasma, not just the fourth state of matter, but plasma as the fabric of reality carries consciousness. So once you know that, then you can start learning more about how to make yourself have some telepathy, how to connect with other beings of consciousness, how to bend a spoon with your heart energy, or what I think is what I would call plasma consciousness synergy. Let me answer some more questions. That is why people who are highly sensitive come up with awesome ideas and inventions. Yes, and it's also why the same people who have awesome ideas have horrible addictions and anxiety and fear. And I say that as someone who had a really bad drug and alcohol addiction from age 14 to 21. And to this day, I struggle with fear almost every day, because when you're touching that fifth dimensional space, which I do a lot, because I just, I don't, I don't like the word channel, but I catch these ideas from there. I'm just open to it. They have to pass through that fourth dimensional space, which is riddled with fear and terror for most of us. So we need to heal that for humanity. And when we heal that in our own subconscious, we can use that four-dimensional clay to co-create reality instead of worry about dying in reality. Okay, hold on. Girl, get your coins. Oh, thank you. I'm also, I have a question for you guys. So I haven't announced this yet, but I'm gonna make a metaphysical school, and I'm gonna charge for classes, and I'm gonna do cheap classes, like $30. That way it's not like a $500 course that like a lot of us cannot afford right now. And I figured, if I make $30 classes about like Ralph Waldo Emerson and transcendentalism, about plasma, about magic, then anyone can afford that. And it's almost like, I didn't go to college, so it's almost like a school for anyone who like is like, fuck college, I wanted to learn real shit. And I'll do a class on like self-publishing and how to succeed in self-publishing, because I was able to make a lot of money that way. It'll be a bunch of stuff, almost like a mystery school online that everyone can have access to, because we all should. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about that quick. And if you want to sign up for my email list, the link is in my bio. I will send an email out when that's ready. I'm just still working on that. But I feel like $33 is fair. I wouldn't want to do more than that. And it's not that I feel insecure to charge. I just want to make it accessible, because the main point is for everyone to learn this stuff. And then if I can make a little so I can make a living, because this takes me hours a day, then great. Okay, let's see. Oh, and anyone, I'm speaking at the Conscious Life Expo in Los Angeles in February. I haven't announced that yet either, but you guys are here, so I'm telling you. I'm Illuminati. No, that's so funny. I thought 3-3 was 33 in third degree. You're right. I thought 3-3 was just a lucky number. I was going to do 30, not 3-3, but maybe I'll do 3-3. Isn't that a good vibration? Or 3690, like 369, like Tesla. Okay, let me go back to questions. Fear marketing is feeding into the machine. Yes, it is. My soul communicates with plasma energy, Amy says, in dreams. I had trypophobia for years. Through lucid dreams, I saw a tree blossom. It ended up being an herb I needed to take to heal my gut. Now it's gone. So that's amazing. So the way that your higher self communicates to you is through symbols and emotions and feelings. So a lot of us, when we see movies in our mind, we don't realize that they're communications. So that's everything in your dream is actually a communication. But you have to kind of decipher it and have discernment. But the fact that you were able to and figure that out is so cool. And yes, plasma is the energy that makes up dreams, and it is reflective of your subconscious. So it is showing you your subconscious. And then when you go into lucid dreaming, you actually get to see beyond your subconscious into the collective conscious, and you get to create with the plasma stuff and build stuff in your dreams. So that's how I relate plasma and dreaming. Is plasma and ether related? So literally what I talk about with plasma is ether. So that's a very smart question. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Zuvia. So ether was luminiferous ether in science was disproved in the 1900s by the Michelson-Morley experiment, but which I write about in my book. in chapter 2, the Michelson-Morley experiment was actually done wrong. And they couldn't find something called an ether drag, which meant that there was no interstellar medium, but they were only testing, I think, vertically, or they were testing in some way that was wrong. And I go into it in my book. But the real secret was that it has always been ether. And then when people were starting to associate ether with the paranormal, I think they had to figure out very fast how to disprove ether. And I think also it just was genuine ignorance. I think Danica thinks it was ignorance. My dog. Danica, it was ignorance, I guess. Okay, she called me out. So even if it was ignorance, plasma is ether. Okay. And I go into my book a lot about the connections with plasma and ether. So plasma, the fourth state of matter, is not ether, but then the fifth element, or I know they call Bose-Einstein condensate or whatever, the fifth state of matter, but plasma really is that more etheric plasma. It's just a finer plasma beyond the fourth state of matter that makes up the fabric of our reality that our tools cannot test yet because we don't know how. Plasma definitely is the key to understanding reality. I think ether is conscious and plasma is how it manifests. That's a smart way to think about it too. So like in what I would call this fifth dimensional space, there is still what I think is plasma and consciousness, but they're very similar. It's almost like when we die and go back to being our higher selves, we're collective, but we're also still individualized. And I really believe that. And that is a more like ether plasma state. So there could be something there with that. And also I believe that consciousness in the third dimension is kind of like a system. Like a tree has a system of consciousness. I have a system of consciousness. You have a system of consciousness. And plasma lets that system kind of become this toroidal system where we kind of put our feelers out with our consciousness and then take it in. And it's like an opening and closing of information and intelligence and communication. And that's how we evolve and grow, if that made any sense. Ether, I know what originally considered the fifth state of matter. I'm in recovery too. Oh, congratulations. Yeah, I went to rehab when I was 16 and 21. I can tell you that story if you guys want to know that story. Okay, I'm still reading. I'm going to make sure I answer everyone. Agree wholeheartedly. I get my ideas in my dreams, very lucid dreams. I think, Nike, I think humanity is the state it is in because of fear. Yes, humanity is definitely in the state they're in because of fear. That is why I will not give in to that for money or fame or validation. It is tempting for a lot of people. For me, it is not. I will rather live in my car. But it does suck sometimes when you see people like that succeeding, but it just sometimes can take longer to take the high road, but at the same time, it's so rewarding and I feel free and I have my soul and I get to tell the truth every day. And that is beautiful. I love Ralph Waldo Emerson as well. Okay. Oh my goodness. You would love all the classes. Oh, good. You will get monetized. This is just the beginning. I know you said the Beijing, but I think beginning of your journey. Thank you, Aura. You should do a paid Discord. So I did have a paid Discord, but I stopped it because I felt like I wasn't going in there enough. And then I felt bad. But if you guys think I should do a paid community, maybe if like, I don't know, $5 a month, and I don't have to go in there all the time because I forget sometimes because I'm making all this content, then maybe I'll do one again. I don't know. What I was thinking actually was doing an in-person event, kind of like a fun camp, like when we were kids, that would have like magic and teachings and bonfires and stuff. And I'm going to do that next year. But I guess if someone can't afford to do that, a community chat would be good. So maybe, I'm going to write that down. I'm going to write down on my phone, potentially open up a Discord. I just would have to figure out how it would work. One sec. Open up community Discord. These are where my ideas go in my phone. Ha ha ha. Monthly. Sorry, guys. I had an idea. I had to write it down. Thank you for that. Okay. 33 is an awesome number. Synchronicity. I made the post on one of your TikToks about the connection between matrix, green code, and plasma. Still waiting for the green flash in your book. So in my book, the green flash, I'll tell you what page it's on if you haven't found it. It's pretty, I think it's kind of in the beginning. Let's see. Is it not? I have the color version here, so you guys will get to see the green flash in color. For anyone who doesn't know what the green flash is, basically, so there, when a egg is fertilized by a sperm, there is a zinc flash, which I believe is green. There also is a green flash, a green spectral light with things in outer space when there is some kind of energy exchange. And there's also a green flash when the sun sets and the horizon, and sometimes it flashes. And I have a theory that the green flash, here's an example of a green flash on a nebula. And I say that the green flash is actually a showing of plasma consciousness synergy or some type of conscious exchange that the universe is giving us. This is actually the green flash. Oops, when the sun sets. And it is on page 55. And there's a poem I'll read about it. Green waves surround this black rock where I sit, turning bones to sonatas. Fingers blurred, I play what I know from listening to orchards unleash. That is a plasma poem. And Ocean Vuong wrote that. And green is the color of the heart and of balance. So anytime I believe that the universe is balancing out or the sun is setting into night, there's this beautiful green flash. Same as when a baby is fertilized with an egg and a sperm. Okay, I'm going to check all of yours. Okay, I'm trying to answer. Zuvuya. Zuvuya? Okay, cool. Are you an FE? Because I'm already in love with you. If you know FE, you mean FE meaning iron? This element? Oh gosh, I don't know what FE is. Fairy elf? I'm a fairy elf. Wow, so good, Dana. Oh, thank you. Hey, Quantum Kinetics Corporation. They're doing really cool stuff with cool fusion. Can we talk about pupils and black holes? Yes. So for anyone who has not watched my video on this, I have a video basically saying that our eyes, the black hole in my eye projects what I believe, but it also absorbs what the universe, what Earth is showing me, right? So it projects and absorbs. Black holes also project plasma jets. They project reality and they absorb information or reality, just like our eyes do. So everyone wonders what's in a black hole. And it could sound crazy that I say, oh, it's our higher selves. It's this fifth dimensional world and we can't see it. And it looks like a black hole to us. And an amazing as above, so below comparison would be just like behind, where is the camera? Just like behind my eye is my soul that is not tangible, but I am in here. I'm love. I'm thinking. There's a lot going on in here behind this eye. You wouldn't know that by looking at me if I was just like, the black hole is the same thing. Inside a black hole is the soul of all of us. It's our higher selves. So I thought that was a really cool connection. Dana lore would be awesome. Okay, what kind of Dana lore do you guys want to know? Ask me a question. I'm answering any question right now. Unless it's super inappropriate, I will answer. Okay, William Tiller experimented with the changing of pH of water. What would be hydrogen ions? I think there's a direct connection with plasma. So there's a huge connection with hydrogen and plasma. I have actually just not gone into that in my first book. My second book will have way more on neutrinos, on hydrogen, on more cool sciencey metaphysical stuff. So I will wait to speak more on that, but you are onto something with that. You have so much integrity. Oh my God, thank you. I have so much integrity that I'm going to have to get a job waitressing soon. No, you guys need to pray that like more and more people buy my book because then I won't have to. I'm like right on the brink of like being able to support myself with my book sales because I actually sold a lot of copies, but to do that every month, that might be difficult. No, it won't be difficult. We're going to manifest. We're going to reflect the plasma. That is easy, but I need you guys to pray for me. Okay, yes, camp. Oh my goodness, Asheville is amazing retreats. Ooh. So, yes, my idea is because I'm going to hold a camp event next year for a week for all of us just to meet each other. I was thinking Big Sur, California is beautiful. Somewhere in Oregon, maybe in the summer, there's a place called Joseph, Oregon, which literally looks like Switzerland if you Google it. I wonder if they have any retreat places. There's a place in Miami near National Glacier Park that looked amazing for the summer. And then Asheville's definitely a place I would check out too, because I have a lot of friends on the East Coast. Danica, say hi. Okay. I've been obsessed with phenomena my entire life, have put so many puzzle pieces together, and seriously think what you're into is cutting edge of understanding. Thank you, Wound Socket, Truth Seeker. I love that name. I really feel like I'm onto something too. I think maybe it just takes some time to catch up for people, but I think maybe in 5 years, this will be very exciting. And I think that if you guys are seeing that I'm onto something, it means you guys are genius. We're all onto something, aren't we? Oh, Plasma Girl. A CE5 type gathering would be cool. So I don't do CE5, but I want to do a gathering that almost like connects us to ourselves, because the real disclosure is inside of us. Like these what someone call aliens, these interdimensional beings, they're talking to us already through symbols, through our dreams. So the camp I would want to throw is more us connecting to ourselves, to our bodies, to each other, talking around a bonfire about mythology, learning how to do real magic, like bending spoons. Maybe I'll have someone come from Monroe if they will. I cross my fingers. We could talk about other magic things. I'll have someone come who is into like biology and biophysics, who can teach about cutting edge stuff that way. Just like, I don't know what to call it yet. It's just, and then we'll have like fun stuff, like fun games, just literally like camp for adults, like a magic camp for adults. But it's like you don't have to act cool, like we're all just weirdos. I can't give it all away right now, but there's some cool stuff I have planned, and I will do a pre-sign up for that next year. Love from Tennessee, thank you. The flash of the egg sperm, it's when the soul enters. I don't know where I saw that. Oh yes, I think it is. Your mind is swift, thank you. I'm loving your book. Oh, thank you, Darla. If you guys tell me everything you love about it, because I worked so hard on that book. So please leave all the Amazon reviews you can. I will also let you guys know, for you guys who are listening. So I've never taken in-person meetings. I opened up my calendar for 4 hours a week. It is in the link in my bio in my Stand store. I'm doing 4 meetings for 45 minutes each a week for people who either want consulting for their business, or to talk about plasma and consciousness, or if you need help with creativity, get unblocked. If you want to help turn your fear, curiosity, or into flow, I have some really good techniques to share with you. So if you do want some one-on-one time, I have opened that up. I probably will only have that open for a few months, but it's just a way to kind of connect with you guys. Yes, Pacific Northwest. I love the Pacific Northwest. Effie is flat earth. Oh, crap. I actually don't know much about flat earth. Now you're going to hate me. Meh. Are you autistic like me? I think I am, but I will say I've never. Oh, my dog. Hi. Mwah. I think I am, but I've never been diagnosed by a doctor autistic. I have complex PTSD, and sometimes a lot of those symptoms mirror autism. I have a hair in my mouth, but I think I took my own test on autism, and I was like 2 levels above like if you have autism at 22, I had 24, and it went all the way up to like 40. So I'm very low on the spectrum, but I think I have it. But once again, I'm self-diagnosing myself, so I'm just being transparent about it. But I talk a lot with my hands, obviously, which is, I think, a sign. Yes, yes, yes. Would love that. A meetup sounds fun. Where can I find a woman like you? Do you have a sister with no? I do have a sister, but she's married. I'm not offended. There's women all over. I think whoever we're meant to meet, we're meant to meet. So maybe when I have the event next year, you'll meet people that are all into this stuff. Oh my God, fart. I'm a professional just enougher. Thank you for sharing your gifts with the interwebs. That's a funny name. You're welcome. The revelation that I came to today, Spirit Ryan says, beyond the obvious benefits of meditation, that meditation and breathing is what actually activates the tubulars that give us more direct download. So, yes. So the way that I at least started getting information from the ethers, from wherever, who knows, right? But the way I started being more expanded with my consciousness and getting information was when I started meditating. I personally started with transcendental meditation, and then I kind of got I I don't like routine. So then I was like, I don't know. I don't want to say evolved because transcendental meditation is great, but then I just started doing other meditations. And then, transcendental meditation opened the floodgates for me. And then I kind of just started doing my own stuff. And I practice Qigong. I do Qigong almost every morning. That really helps me move the plasma energy. If you guys want to do a really cool trick really quick to feel plasma, the fabric of reality, it almost feels like rubber. So if you go like this with your hands and go like this fast, you'll almost start to feel like there's a wall between your hands. It feels kind of cool. That's like how I sometimes describe plasma, almost like you're feeling a bubble. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like the only way to have an actual tangible experience besides when you're meditating and you feel plasma in your heart and soul. I can't explain how the connection with plasma feels, but it's our cosmic mother. It's Mary Magdalene. It is the divine feminine. That is what plasma is. And consciousness is the divine masculine. And those two together create the child or matter or reality. Eric Dubay equals 200 proofs Earth doesn't spin. Wait, what does that mean? We are dancers in vibration. Big ups from the UK. Hi UK, the UK. I went to England to present on plasma in July with Robert Temple. And now he's my BFF. Earth 200 proofs Earth doesn't spin. Oh, okay. You're telling me flat Earth stuff. I will look it up. I promise. Hard to explain. Hey, Cora. Cora, I think, has been with me since almost the beginning. I remember your name. The key chi energy. Yes. So chi energy is the same kind of thing I would say as like our plasma and consciousness. It's our own energy that we're moving. So let me show you guys a little bit more of the book. Oh, do you guys want to talk about plasma beings? I want to talk about plasma beings because I feel like a lot of you probably have your own kind of experiences with them. I'll show you a part in my book and then talk about them. And if you guys want to talk about anything else, please ask me. So I have a section. It's on page 516 of my book. This is the color version. And the links are in the bio if you haven't bought my book. This is called How to Train Your Dragon, Personal Plasma Consciousness Synergy. And it has a really cool dragon. So plasma is the dragon. It's our Merkaba. And it also is how we communicate with anything outside of ourselves. You have it on Kindle. Awesome. Sorry, I'm at the very beginning of your book, but I love it. And I've been listening to you for a while. And I really appreciate your ability to put my thoughts into words. Oh, thank you, Spirit Ryan. That's so nice. Are cryptids plasma beings? Yes. So we're going to get into plasma beings. Let's go. So let me get to it in my book. I mean, I could literally talk about it, just riffing about it, but I don't want to get off topic because I always get off. And then there also is a section, by the way, on superpowers, which I know a bunch of you have on page 540 called Mystery Men. And if you want to know more about like different superpowers, there's a whole section on some superpowers you might have, like closed eye travel, plasma kinesis, synesthesia, clairaudience, olfactory intuition. So there's a lot of cool stuff there. Multidimensional thinking, which a lot of people with autism and neurodivergence have. Dana, you're amazing. I just bought your book. I can't wait to read it. I'd be really curious if you've done any sort of research into connections between plasma and sound. Yes, I have. Okay. I want to talk about that too. So let me talk about the plasma beings first. So plasma and sound I didn't go much into in my first book, but I'm going to go into that more in my second book. Plasma enables sound to travel, but in a way, plasma is sound. I know that's hard to. Plasma is resonance. So when you're resonating at certain vibrations and frequencies, which literally create sound, that is like your plasma signature. I would say. I feel like I sound like an AI bot right now. Your plasma signature. When I was a kid, I had experiences with what I would call fuzzy ball plasma. Yes, I literally wrote a story that's called Death is a Fuzzy Pink Ball. Isn't that hilarious? We're all channeling the same stuff, guys. You guys are all such genius. I started to do diaphragmatic breathing and ecstatic dance. Yes, breathing can really change shit. There's like pranayama breathing. Okay, I'll go back to the cryptids and plasma stuff. And then I'll read the thing that you just said about salt. So, plasma beings. let's get this started. Okay, so there is a mini chapter on 556 called the Interstellar Lagoon: Creatures, the New Alive, and Backwards Time. And in it, I talk about plasma beings. Now, first, we're having a teaching session right now. So, first, I talk about reclaiming your power and your original interface. And this is so important before I get into cryptids, plasma beings, angels, anything. So I say before I introduce the concept of plasma beings, it is very important we open our consciousness to a new view of the history of these beings and how we placed our power in them. This will help us move forward with an expanded and empowered viewpoint for our benefit. A long time ago, whether by manipulation, misunderstanding, or survival instinct, humans began placing their power outside of themselves. We were told the gods were above us, the angels beyond us, and the demons beneath us, and that our role was to appease, obey, or fear them. We forgot that these forces, no matter how real they felt, were often born from our own collective psyche, impressed onto the field of plasma. The Sumerians spoke of the Anunnaki, enigmatic gods who could bless or destroy depending on how we worship them. But what if these were not gods at all? I'm not going to read this whole time. I'm just reading the beginning so I can explain plasma beings. What if these were not gods at all? What if they were the first plasma beings ever recorded, interdimensional? Danica, be quiet. Sorry. Danica, you're ruining my reading. Interdimensional energies shaped by human focus, belief, and ritual. Whether they were real encounters with beings of fifth dimensional intelligence or symbolic projections hijacked by priest kings for control, the effect was the same. Humanity began outsourcing its inner authority to outer forces. And this pattern did not just stop with the Anunnaki. It echoed throughout history as different archetypes and concepts across cultures that reinforced two essential messages. One, we learned that the power, this is not true, but this is what it reinforced. We learned that the power outside of you is outside of you, and you must appease or resist these external forces to maintain balance. And two, it came down to attention and duality, making ourselves right or wrong in every single moment, reinforcing the need for an outside attachment. This is how religion gets you. This is how the government gets you to listen. The latest example of this is rampant in spiritual circles, where you see outer signs symbolizing either fortune or imminent death. We will explore why, too, this is just a reflection of how stuck in survival our consciousness is. So basically, what I propose here is that we have misunderstood plasma beings, which are basically, we have been taught that all these beings have power over us, or they have something we need to worship or pray to or have rituals about, right? This is all so we can put our power in someone else. And this is how people make money off of us. And we need to remember that we have the power to communicate with these beings and see the truth about all of this in ourselves. And I'm going to tell you how. And this is on page 558 of my book, A New Force, if you're listening. And my lighting just went out, so now I don't look as good, but it's fine. So I'm just going to keep reading. Here, let me make my screen lighter. So let me get to... So I talk about we have to reclaim our original interface of plasma consciousness synergy, which is our heart, our body, our mind, and our soul. These beings, whether we feel are angels, shadows, spirit guides, or old pain, clearly mirror our multidimensional self. They are resonance-based, which means they show up because something in you called them forth. So plasma beings are a form of information, intelligence, or consciousness wrapped in a neutral, responsive plasma field that reflects the observer, yours, subconscious, and emotional resonance. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sammy. I'm going to answer all you guys. I'm just reading a little bit about what plasma beings, because someone asked if cryptids are plasma beings. And then I'll answer all of your questions. I promise, every single one. So basically, there's a few things that can visit us. There are these higher beings, which you can call your higher self. Maybe my higher self is visiting you. Maybe your higher self is visiting you. just some type of conscious being that has free will. They come through this fourth dimensional bridge of plasma, which is encased mostly in darkness and fear and trauma, because that has been just most of the human existence. And we still have to heal that plasma. So, right now, when it comes through that plasma, it is reflective of your subconscious because we don't know how to see through it to the truth usually. So, when this being comes through this fourth dimensional space of plasma, it gets encased in it. And then it's wearing like a plasma suit that will reflect your subconscious. So if you were in a state of trauma or fear, you're going to see a demon. You might see a cryptid. But here's the thing. Then there's also the unconscious in the fourth dimensional plasma space that are holding literal messages for you about your trauma, your memories, about some negative belief you have. All of it is in plasma trying to evolve you. The evil and fear is human created, and it doesn't mean it's not real. It doesn't mean it can't have power over you, but you choose to give it power. And it's hard to hear that, and it was hard to hear that from me too, because I've experienced really scary stuff. But once I started healing my trauma, those demons I saw changed into angels, which made me realize, oh my God, that's not that this is all not what I thought it was. And then eventually, when you can see through the truth of a plasma being, they start to come to you in holographic shimmers and mists. And I'll show you a picture. These beings that almost just look, they almost do look angelic. I have this isn't what they look like, but I kind of have a picture of all of them clapping for you because they're all supporting our growth and evolution. And when they come to us as scary beings, it's usually because there's something in us that needs to be healed, that is seeing them that way, because our subconscious, our Carl Jung's collective unconscious, is full, a memory bank full of mythology, of demons, of trolls, of cryptids, of every story we've ever told. That is the language of plasma, but it also has dakinis and angels and purple aliens. And then so the difference is there's either informational beings, which are not conscious, they are unconscious, and they are made of trauma and fear. And a lot of us experience them because a lot of us have trauma or mental health problems. I have them too. Or there are the conscious beings, which is either you from another timeline, or it's something from a higher place, like your higher self or God energy, whatever you want to call it. So you have power over whatever comes to you. And if it's scary, you have power to not let that in or not interact with it. Or you can face it with neutrality, curiosity, maybe turn your lights on and maybe see, oh, is that just like in the scary movies? Is that something I need to face that will give me a message and then it'll disintegrate? Because you realize, oh, that demon in my room is actually me. I don't know if I could say this online. It's actually me remembering something horrible that happened to me as a kid. And then you kind of work with a therapist on that. So hopefully that all made sense. Feel free to ask questions. I'm going to go back to all your questions now from the beginning. So there's a lot more to it, but I just don't want to talk your friggin' ears off. Okay. Spirit Ryan. No, I read that one. Dana, oh, no, yes. Sorry, I'm getting your questions. I agree. Oh, no. Okay. I believe the salt we put in our body is key to plasma current voltage, and that the body consciousness makes. I've never thought about salt. I need to look more into salt in the body and what that has to do with it. Excuse me. Dana the alien, do you feel a connection to a certain star system? Yes, I feel a huge connection to Orion, the star system Orion. I have a past life memory from there that I was on a ship in the middle star, around the middle star Analam. And I was like eternally 7 years old. And I had these like parents who were my guardians, and they sent me to Earth because I had to come here to help people, but I didn't want to as a soul. So it's kind of funny because I still kind of get that resistance. I'm like, when I was younger, I was like, I want to be a famous actress. I don't want to do this plasma stuff. But like, this is like 5 years ago. But I was like, plasma's so unsexy. And I just kept getting the calling for it. And I was like, fine. And I quit acting. And I just, now I'm doing this full time because I know it's my calling. But I resisted it for a long time, just like my silly soul did coming here. I'm wondering if 3 Atlas is all of the above. So I personally think 3 Atlas is, hi Sammy, if you're still here, but I'll just speak on it anyway. I think 3 Atlas, guys, the news makes money off of us. They want clickbait. People on YouTube want money out of fear. They are going to try to scare you every which way till Sunday about fucking 31 Atlas or whatever it's called. I am not sure what it is, but I can tell you one thing. It's not anything to fear and it's not scary. I think if it was a real interdimensional alien system, they could just pop and get here right now. Why would they fly a ship here? Like if they're more advanced than us, they can just pop up and get here and no one could stop them. And no one's done that, which is why I know we're very safe. It's literally probably an asteroid. And if it is an alien ship, then I'm wrong. But I don't think it is. I think that maybe it's something to help raise our consciousness. Like I'm more on board with that, to be honest. But I don't believe any of this fear news bullshit. I have experiences where I've seen shape-shifting orbs. Oh, I would love to talk on orbs. So I also have this in my book. I'll tell you what page for anyone who's new. My book is A New Force. It's about plasma consciousness and the new human potential. Ooh, this is a cool one. Then I talk about plasma beings and the nature spirits. Okay. So with orbs, I talk about my experience with Ryan Bledsoe. If you guys don't know him, his dad is Chris Bledsoe. He wrote the book UFO of God about the plasmoids in the sky that he can kind of almost summon to him, I guess. I don't like the word summon because they have free will, but I can't find it in my book, but I'll just tell you the story. No, wait, it's almost here. Here it is. So when I was at Ryan's house, so these orbs are made of plasma. And when I was at Ryan's house with him watching the plasmoids, these two things came down and swooped over our heads. And I have never seen anything like that in my life. I was in ontological shock for 2 days. That stuff is all real. But the messages that I got from them, which I have in my book, is that they want to support us. They want to show us how to work with plasma consciousness synergy. They want us to know that we can mold reality in ways beyond our wildest dreams. They want us to know how powerful we are. All those plasmoids are literally just our future ancestors reflecting our own power. And that's really it. And it's pretty cool. And of course, the news is going to like make it into a crazy thing instead of saying that, because why would anyone want you to know that you have all the power within you? Because then you'll just stop buying stuff. I know I have the power within me, and they're such idiots because I know I have the power within me. I'm still going to go buy Outback Steakhouse because I like Outback Steakhouse. Like you can have all the power within you and still buy into consumerism. It's just you won't be a target for ads that are manipulating you, which is why it's important to get your power back. Okay, sorry. I'm still going to read all your stuff. I'm just trying to answer everyone. So, plasma dog. Oh, my dog. Are you talking about my dog, Danica? Okay. Thank you. I got to watch later. Bye, Sammy. They were beautiful and I felt calm and in awe. Yes, Tori. That's how I feel too when I see plasmoids. Love Carl Young. Spirit Ryan. Yes, thank you. I've experienced both light and dark. What I would call plasma beings were both due to my state of energetically. Yes. And when you can admit that what resonance you're in and energetic state you're in, that depends on what experiences you'll have with these plasma beings, that is very evolved of you, because a lot of people can't do that. And it doesn't mean when you're not in a good state, it's like your fault that you feel like you're being like haunted or whatever. It's showing you that you have stuff to work on, like we all do. And it doesn't mean they're not real experiences. It just means you have power over the negative experiences to turn them positive or learn from them, and that nothing can hurt you in that realm. Obviously on earth, yes, something can hurt you. Something can, scratch you. But in that realm, you can have power over anything. And I'm here to tell everyone that. Johnny. So I have begun to see plasma as blank energy field, which can become conscious when an intention is made. Johnny, that is genius. And I could not have said that better myself. So plasma is a neutral, sentient, living, intelligent field, but it is not conscious. And when consciousness interacts with it through an intense ion, an ion like plasma ions, any word with a dash ion means that you're impressing something into the plasma at a very amplified rate. Creation, communication, anything with an ION. So when consciousness synergizes with plasma, matter is created. It is when the male, the father consciousness synergizes with the female plasma, the mother, and creates the child reality. So I'm obsessed with that. Amazing. Have you seen the photographer from the 70s? I'm getting off here in 10 minutes. So anyone with last minute questions, please ask. Have you seen the photographer from the 70s that was taking pictures of people performing on stage like Cher and catching beans above? No, I haven't. Wait, send me the link to that. Fascinating. Any ways to facilitate interactions with positive plasma? Yes, yes, yes. So I talk about this in my book as well. I will find the page for this because I think this will be very useful for you guys. So for anyone who's listening, so this is the color version of my book. It is more expensive. It's on Amazon. The color version of the book, it's 700 pages, is like $120. I'm so sorry. Amazon charges so much. But the black and white version is only $44. And that's like 3 books for that much money, which is pretty good. And then I have a signed book. I have signed books on my website, danakipple.com. There's 32 left now. And those are $99. And I sign them myself. So if I get very famous, it will be worth a lot of money if I'm a famous scientist. I'm just being silly. Wait, what was I answering? Oh, positive plasma interactions. Yeah, so there's a certain state you can get in, which I speak about in my book, and I'll tell you a little bit about it now and what page it's on, that you can have positive experiences with plasma. I'm never going to find a husband singing like that. I'm just kidding. I shouldn't say that. I'm creating bad plasma. Okay, so here we go. Sorry, just I'm trying to get. There's so much about it. So there's something called negative capability, which is how to get in a state to receive plasma and like higher beings of consciousness. And I'm trying to find that page. So there is on page 475, it's called the divine plasma intelligence of receiving. And it goes into that a bit. Oh, here it is. Here it is. So there's something called Creative Imagination by Henry Corbin. You can look it up too, but I would definitely read it in my book because I put it together with plasma. So that is what it's called. And it's on page 478. If you can get into a state of creative imagination and negative capability, you can totally have positive experiences. It also, this is so easy. I'll just tell you now. Have fun. Go to Six Flags for the day. Go see your favorite movie. Get in a playful, non-attached state, not worrying about the outcome, and then try to meditate. Ground yourself, connect with the earth, do whatever you need to do to just connect with your inside in silence. And you'll start seeing visions, or you might hear something. Pay attention to everything that happens in those maybe 20 minutes of silence. And trust me, if you do that every day for a week, a month, something's going to come through. Just trust everything that comes through. But if it's negative, just trust that those might be your own negative thoughts, or are you getting like that's like more of the fear that you're trying to reprogram. But the difference between fear and intuition is all the negative stuff is usually up here. It is confusing. It almost hurts your head. Clear intuition, when you're in this state receiving positive interactions from plasma, it is in your gut. It is always here below. It makes you calm, peaceful, and it feels clear. It will not confuse you. It will not ask you for any sacrifices. All of that is mind. So hopefully that helped differentiate it. Okay. Let me see what other questions. Sorry, I just want to make sure I answer everything before I get off. And really quick for anyone who's still here. So I have a few different offerings right now. I've opened up 4 hours a week of sessions to talk to you guys about plasma, how to heal your fear, unleash your creative blocks, to get your creative blocks out of the way. Or if you have a business, helping with that, all things plasma. And then I also have my book on Amazon, the links in my bio for those. And then I will eventually have classes on really cool metaphysical topics that are only going to be $30 a class because I want everyone to take them. And then once you take a certain amount of classes, you can come to Camp Mysterium, it's called. I'll tell you guys that, which I'm having next year. And it's an in-person event with like bonfires and science and magic and just the most fun thing ever, where we can all unmask and be our neurodivergent selves. Maybe some music as well. Okay, so I wonder, okay, there is some magical salt a friend of mine said Jesus always carried. Interesting. I don't know anything about magic and or salt, but I mean, and I know in magic rituals like salt helps with protection, and I know that plasma has to do with moisture. Like there's something there with humidity and plasma. Like the more wet you are, like oh god, that sounds so weird, but like the more wet you are, the more, and I mean that like emotionally, the more the plasma field can sense you and the more it listens to you. So it wouldn't, if you have salt, it wouldn't listen to you. So I guess if you're in like a negative frequency and put salt around you, that will almost make you maybe invisible to that stuff. That actually is cool. I just thought of that on the fly. I can't wait for this retreat. I would love to meet you to talk. I'm in an experience right now where most of the things I think about and relate to are foreign to everyone. Well, Spirit Ryan, all of us think the same. I really might do a Discord chat just for us to have community. I just need to figure out how to work it because I won't be in there as much, but we could, I don't know. I'm going to figure that out because the most important thing is community and we all really lack that. So I'm trying to figure out like, how can I give you guys community and also be in the community, even though I can't all the time, obviously, because I have to make all these videos. Okay, let's see. But obviously I will be at the camp event I'm doing and I'll have a lot of my friends there too, who you guys might know. It's a privilege to have been introduced to your work, Ryan Bledsoe, amazing guy, not exactly like his dad. Yeah, him and his dad are actually pretty different, but yeah, Ryan is amazing. So down to earth. I love him and his wife. They're amazing. My research shows Celtic sea salt is the best Himalayan pink salt. Ooh, okay, I'll look it up. Does Ryan agree with my interpretation? I don't know. I know I talked about it on his podcast and he seemed very interested. I know that he said his dad says that the orbs are plasma. He seemed fascinated by it, but it's kind of funny. Like when me and Ryan are in the same space, he has his own thing and I have my own thing. So it's kind of like it's hard to read each other's things when we're so ingrained in our own things. But I'm pretty sure he does agree with the plasma stuff, but I can't speak for him. I was fascinated by someone in World War I that realized that if they got the weight of a human body, they could do a blood transfusion with filtered seawater. Interesting. You love the salt. I love your interests. You're like a salt genius, Salt Bay. Thank you, Tori. Thank you, Dana. Your words and wisdom resonate with me so heavy, connect to what I've been experiencing. Oh, good. Oh, I cannot wait to hear more of what you think, Tori. And everyone who has the book, please review it on Amazon. That helps more people find it. So I'm going to do an Audible for the book, but the Audible costs a lot of money. So until I have enough to pay for it, I was actually going to record the book on YouTube with visuals. What do you guys think about that? Then it would be free. Yes, the book in color is awesome. I'm a QHHT therapist. I do past life regression. Ooh, love it. You're struggling because you live in the Bible Belt. Ugh, move out, Ryan. Seize the day. I have come to believe plasma is very important. I believe there's water above us and below us. Yes, we're in a cosmic ocean. I love it. Of salt water. Haha. So maybe there is a lot with salt, right? If everything is reflective, can we not change the reflection? So everything is reflective and we can totally change the reflection by changing ourselves. So the more you change yourself, the more you change the reflection. We are the malleable ones. Someone said that the other day, reality is more fixed and we're the more malleable ones. But the more we are malleable, the more reality becomes malleable, which is really cool. So it's an inside job. You love the Sacred Machines podcast. Oh, I'll have to look it up. Oh, yay. Thank you. I'm excited too. Hey, Andrew. Oh, you guys, Andrew Davis if you guys are into philosophy, he actually has a really cool classes on philosophy that he's teaching that are definitely like plasma-like. It's called Process Philosophy, I think. But he has a cool website and he's doing classes. I'm hopefully going to take them. I crack you up. Oh, thank you, Johnny. So I was in LA. I'm moving to Portland. And I spent some time in Florida, but yes, I was in LA and now I'm on my way to Portland. Yes, please get us all gathered. I definitely will. Is that a pyramid? So it's actually the mountains in Montana and National Glacier Park because I just love Montana. I was just telling myself to have fun again. Yes, we all need to have fun. Literally the last chapter in my book, for those of you who don't know or who haven't gotten there yet, because it's 12 million pages long, is called The Divine Child. I want to show you guys it though. God, it's hard in here finding my own stuff. Okay, hold on. Ah! Okay, come on. I want to show them the chapter. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. It's a small chapter at the end of the book, but it's all about divine play and how your most authentic self is the most powerful. It's a really okay. So in the book, there's part 3 about the new force is you, and it's us with little wings. I love Mount Hood in Oregon. I effing love Oregon. So I was thinking of having the camp or retreat in I think I was going to have the camp or retreat in either Joseph, Oregon, Asheville, North Carolina, someone mentioned, Big Sur, or near National Glacier Park, somewhere in Montana. So those are the options, and I'm going to have it in the summer. But I still have to do all of the planning. And I still have to, and then I'll start doing pre-sales for it. Let me see. Richard Champagne. I don't know who you are. You feel free to tell me. Let me look you up. Is there a way to look? Let me see. No, I don't. I'm sorry. And if I forgot your name, I'm horrible with names. But anyway, yes, I'm in Portland. I'm in North Central or Ohio. You can help with Discord. So, okay, so what I'm thinking, I can do a Discord. I think there's a way to do it where it's like $5 a month or something. Like I would just need to charge a fee to like upkeep my own life, obviously. Is that fair, do you guys think? And then I will talk about like all the events we're going to have in there. We can talk about plasma stuff. I don't know what that means. Ooh, Camp Mysterium sounds delightful. Yes. I have the biggest mouth because I wasn't even gonna like mention that yet, but I decided to. Oh, but here, chapter 6, the divine child of emergence, the star and the fool. That is the last chapter, and it's literally about the best way to work with plasma is being your own inner child. And I'm gonna read this quote from the book. Oh, no, it'll be the same Discord I have now. So some of you are already on it. And if you're already on it, you're grandfathered in because you already paid more than $5 to get in. But I think I will reopen it to everyone else. And then I'm just going to have to charge a fee just because, I have to earn some type of money. And I'm also going to spend time in it. And I'll do, like lives with everyone and stuff. So it'll be a way to pay myself. And hopefully that's affordable. And if it's not, I'm sorry. But I think it is. So here's a quote that I want to share with everyone. And then, hold on. You need teammates who can help. I do need teammates who can help. Well, Johnny, if you want to email me, feel free to email me. Oh, the Monroe Institute. Love the Monroe Institute. Are you a Monroe Institute person? Yeah, Johnny, my email, I'll give you guys my email. So that is my work email. And if you want to help me figure out the Discord stuff, that would be great. Because basically I have to figure out I think on my Stand store, I could do a $5 a month charge that people sign up for. I just don't know that much about it. So I definitely need help figuring that out. But yeah, we need to figure that out. Planning a trip to North Carolina. Have you considered doing a laboratory experiments with plasma? I have. I feel like I have way too much I'm doing and I'm stressed, but I definitely want to do a laboratory experiment with plasma. And I'm actually in talks with an amazing girl named Francesca who works with Harvard, and me and her might do a plasma study that I will talk about in the future because it's secret right now. Yeah. No, we could totally combine it with a trip to the Monroe Institute. That would be so fun. And okay, so let me read this quote about the divine child. There is, you know what? I need you, please guys sign up for my email list because I will email everyone the Discord link where you can sign up for the $5 a month for the Discord. That way we all have a community where we can talk about like meetups and plasma and all this stuff. I already have the Discord. It's like out of our own. It is. And the people that don't have good experience after using the gateway tapes, I wouldn't blame the gateway tapes. I think because anyone who's done them knows that they are like the best energy ever. That might be with the person's psyche, or they might maybe be blaming it, but our experiences are created by us. So you can't blame anything. Like, even if I watched a horror movie and had bad experiences, that would be my fault for having the bad experience because I plugged that kind of stuff into my subconscious. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it, but I think, trust me, if there was some wacky shit there, because other people have tried to say that too, I would know. I'm very intuitive. And I think that I've gone to Monroe Institute 3 times. It has the best energy ever. I think you have to go there and figure it out for yourself, and you don't have to agree with me. And that is all I'll say. But I'm telling you, if you haven't gone there from experience yourself, that I would just say experience it yourself because it's fucking magic. And they don't make you go there. You know, you actually have to pass a screening process to even go there. So it's not like they're trying to get people to go. Okay, here's a quote about being the divine child. There is a curious prophecy about this child. She is destined to bring about the end of destiny, but she must do so without knowing what she is doing, as if it were her nature and not her destiny. And that is from the Golden Compass, Philip Pullman. And it's basically that we need to be in a state of like neutral curiosity and not realize that we're doing anything awesome, because that will almost build it up to a science and make us like more nervous. We just have to be like our cool, childish selves. We are the days of giants. I have weird dreams about giants, actually. Hold on. Let me see what else I want to share about. Okay, 5 more minutes. Does anyone have any other questions before I get off? And if for anything you want to know about, like, all the links are in my bio for, I'll say it one more time, my book, A New Force. It is on Amazon. The links are in my bio for a signed book, a color book, or a black and white book. And then I am doing phone calls. I do 4 hours a week of those. And then I will set up a Discord because you guys are asked. I have the Discord, but I will sign up for the email list and I will send a link out if you want to sign up. I know I love the Gateway Tapes. So audiobooks, I am going to do an audio visual book on YouTube, and I'm going to literally read my book and have visuals in it. Cause I was thinking, you know, if someone asked me, because they're an artist, if you're painting and want to put it on your TV and just want to be inspired by visuals, or if you're driving, either way, you just don't look at it. Because an audiobook's very expensive, and I did have a studio lined up. I just am trying to save up still for that. So yeah, I'm going to have one. It just won't be out until the early next year. I'm so stinking lucky you have friends in AVL of 10 minutes from the bookstore. Oh, that's so exciting. Thank you, Amy. Yeah, I'm so excited to go there. My vivid dream is me flying and going places. I had a dream of flying the other night, actually. What if my child self says childish jokes like sky watching Uranus? Honestly, that's hilarious. Someone said fuck yes. Yeah, so anyway, I'm excited for the future. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna get off and watch TV. Danica, do you want to say bye? Danica, say goodbye bye. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. All right. Thank you guys for being on here. Please, if you do anything, sign up for my email list, because I don't even send that many emails. I literally have sent 2 when my book came out and reminding people my book came out. But now that I'm going to make the Discord accessible for everyone, because right now it's private, I'll share that with you guys. And if you want to join, you can join. And then my classes, my metaphysical classes in the future, I think most of you will obviously love. Basically, if you don't want to read my entire book, I'm going to do like the best teachings in here, like all in one class. I'll do a class on self-publishing, on transcendentalism, on magic. It'll be like literally a mix of like a cooler college and a mystery school. And teach about the weirdest shit that you don't even know. Just cool stuff. All right, guys. Well, I love you all. Excuse me. Okay. Sorry, I was excited. All right. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Mwah. Night, night. Bye-bye.